This is part 2 of the Unheld Child Archetypal Root. If you haven't listened to part 1, you're welcome to pause and return to it, or simply listen from here. In early development, regulation is relational. A child learns how to calm, feel, and recover with another nervous system. So in a well-attuned environment, when a child feels something big, the feeling arises. The child expresses it, whether through crying, anger, fear, or excitement. A caregiver meets it. The caregiver helps the feeling move through, and the child's nervous system learns that feelings rise, get met, and pass. That cycle teaches regulation. It teaches trust and emotional movement. Release without fear. This is expression. When emotional attunement is missing or inconsistent, the cycle breaks. Here's what changes. Let's walk through it again, but this time without attunement. The child feels distress, fear, anger, or overwhelm. But this time, no one reliably helps it settle. So the nervous system learns. Activation happens alone. This is frightening for a child. So the brain chooses survival over expression. At this point, the nervous system has two options. Keep expressing and risk rejection, overwhelm, and/or rupture, or stop expressing to reduce stimulation, to reduce danger. The system chooses the safer option, and over time, instead of moving emotion outward, it learns to hold it inward to maintain safety. This is containment. Containment means the child learns to swallow emotions instead of releasing them, tighten instead of soften, go quiet instead of reach, freeze instead of cry, think instead of feel, dissociate instead of react. The emotion doesn't disappear. It's compressed, stored, delayed, held in the body. A child who contains may stop crying quickly or say that they're fine when they aren't, become very good or low maintenance, hide in their room, avoid asking for help, become hyper-independent, watch adults carefully instead of expressing themselves, feel things privately, silently. And the thing is, adults often praise this child, but internally, the system is saying, I have to manage this alone. Because the emotion isn't expressed and resolved, it has to go somewhere. So the body holds it as muscle tension, perhaps in the jaw or the shoulders or the stomach. There's shallow breathing or headaches, stomach issues or chronic fatigue, restlessness, numbness, delayed emotional reactions, sudden surges of anger or grief later. Self-regulation is a learned skill, not an innate one. Children are supposed to learn it through co-regulation first. When that doesn't happen, the child regulates alone, before their system is ready, without guidance, and end without repair. That's why it's called premature self-regulation. It looks like strength, but it's actually unsupported responsibility. So how this shows up in adulthood is adults who learned containment often feel responsible for everything. They blame themselves automatically. They struggle to ask for help or minimize their needs. They feel emotions late or all at once. Then they feel guilty for having feelings. They hold their anger in until it erupts or turns inward. Or they feel too much or nothing at all. This isn't emotional immaturity, it's emotional compression. Containment wasn't a failure to feel. It was a strategy to survive without support. When no one was there to help feelings move, the body learned to hold them. This isn't pathology. It's adaptation. And the system did something incredibly intelligent. It lowered its needs. It reduced emotional visibility. It learned independence early, and it stopped asking. These weren't flaws. They were simply solutions for the moment. Becoming smaller, quieter, and more self-reliant increased the chance of staying safe and connected in an environment where emotional support was unreliable. From the unheld child, many secondary patterns grow. One you've already met is the invisible child, the one who learned that being unseen felt safer than being unmet. Many people ask, why am I still like this? Because the nervous system doesn't ask if something is healthy. It asks if it's familiar. What was learned early becomes what feels normal, even if it hurts. The body repeats what it knows until it experiences something different. This isn't resistance, it's memory. It's important to say this clearly. Harm can occur without intent, and absence can shape us as deeply as overt harm. Many people were told nothing bad happened to them, but what didn't happen matters too. If your feelings weren't met, named, or held, your system still adapted. This isn't about fixing yourself or confronting your caregivers or remembering everything and healing today. What this is about is understanding that nothing about this means you are unlovable. Nothing about this means you are weak. It means no one showed you how to be held, and your system learned how to survive anyway. That intelligence is not something to erase. It's something to understand. Understanding comes first. Regulation and integration come later. The unheld child didn't fail. If this resonates, let it land gently.